If you've received a motorway speeding fine, then you have one big choice to make: pay up or appeal. So let's dive into this topic and see what options are available to you. Why would you get a motorway fine in the first place? Well, the most common offence in the UK for motorways and roads is exceeding the speed limit. So it's essential to respect the motorway speed limit, even if it's lowered due to roadworks or a traffic accident. You'll receive an NIP if you exceed the given speed limit and are caught on camera, a notice of intended prosecution. However, you could also be caught speeding by an unmarked police vehicle on a motorway. If you're pulled over for exceeding the speed limit, the police officer could give you the NIP verbally. Now let's look at the options available to you once you receive an NIP. Firstly, you could pay the fine, which is calculated on a percentage of your weekly earnings. Serious speeding offences could see you losing 175% of your weekly earnings, with the maximum being set at an eye-watering £2,500. You could appeal the fine, but you will need appropriate grounds and strong evidence for your appeal to be successful. So what are the grounds for appealing a motorway speeding fine? Well, you could argue that the details of the NIP are incorrect if some of the details are missing or they're wrong. You could also argue that the equipment used to measure your speed wasn't correctly calibrated, although it can be hard to prove this one. If you weren't the driver when the motorway speeding fine was issued, then this would be a good excuse, though you must tell the authorities who was driving to avoid being fined for not doing so. You could argue that it simply wasn't your vehicle. This one is only likely to work if the system has misread your registration or someone is falsely using your registration on another vehicle. Finally, you could argue that you didn't receive the NIP within 14 days of the offence. This one won't work if a policeman gave you it verbally though. However, challenging a motorway speeding fine can be challenging, and very few challenges are successful unless a lawyer can get you off on a technicality. Speaking of lawyers, should you hire one if you get a motorway speeding fine? Well, if you think your licence is on the line, it could be worth seeking legal advice. A lawyer could also represent you if the case goes to court. However, lawyers can be expensive, so you have to weigh up the pros and the cons first. Just because you plead guilty and you want to pay the motorway speeding fine doesn't mean you won't necessarily go to court. It depends on whether the authorities want to prosecute you. For example, if you were going well over the motorway speed limit, you could end up in court and you'd have to pay court costs. Also, it's worth knowing that exceeding 100 miles an hour almost always results in a driving ban, even if you previously had a clean licence. Only a small percentage of challenges against motorway speeding fines are successful, so you need to weigh the chances of a successful outcome with contesting the fine. However, if you think you have a legitimate case to appeal, it's worth taking the time and effort to do so. Just make sure you have strong evidence to support your case. If you're wanting to challenge a speeding conviction, then a popular option is to consult a solicitor for help. There's many online solicitors that work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial. One of my colleagues saved over £270 on a parking ticket by using their service. I've linked that offer in the description, and if you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd, so thank you.